Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 3 of the abandoned Evo 8 that we are attempting to make 800 wheel horsepower on. To catch you guys up to speed real quick, on the first day, we went and picked up this car. This is our photographer's Evo 8 that got abandoned in his garage, and I promised him I would get this thing back up on the road for him. So in the first episode, we went and picked it up, pulled everything apart, got a bunch of parts cleaned up. Yesterday, which is episode number 2, we got the engine, trans, and transfer case back up in the car. And today, which is the third episode, I'm gunning for the very first start. As you can see, we have a ton of parts to install. Everything on this table, stuff down there, and this whole line of parts right here. We need to get all that back on the car before we can even fire it up, including all this wiring. Big old mess of wiring right here. All this runs the intake manifold. We have cam sensor, crank sensor. We have all the injector stuff, throttle body, TPS, idle air control valve, the map sensor. The list goes on and on. We have a whole lot of wiring we need to get installed. And I think that's what I'm gonna get started off with, is all of this wiring. So we can run it the factory way, which is up above the intake manifold, or we can try and do it a little bit cleaner of a way, which is running it underneath the intake manifold. And then the injector wiring is gonna come up in between the runners and plug right into the injectors. So let's spend some time trying to make it nice and clean. I know you guys probably see this broken valve cover here. Don't worry, we do have another one sitting over there that we are gonna install later on, but it's freshly powder coated and we don't wanna scratch it up. So this whole entire thing, believe it or not, is currently wired up. Everything is ran where it needs to be ran. The only thing we have to connect is a throttle cable. And if you didn't know, this is a 9 head, so it does have MyVec, a couple more connections here and there. But to get it looking this good, we're gonna have to extend one of the coil harnesses and both cam sensor harnesses. Now that's not all that difficult. I think it's well worth it to have the bay looking like this. Let me go pop in the other shop real quick and show you how the current Evo 9 bay looks, which is how that would look if we did not extend any harnesses. It looks like trash. I need to run in, grab a spool of wire, and then we can come back and get all 3 of these guys extended. Not so sure I can get it any cleaner than this. It's pretty damn good. Took a couple hours, but we're done. All wiring is complete. All right, I think it's time to go ahead and get the subframe in. So the steering rack, the lower control arms, the sway bar are all gonna be mounted up on the subframe. Then the subframe can go in. We can get the spindles hanging from the lower control arms, get that lower mount on, and start doing some suspension work. All right, moving on to the very, very, very best part of any car build in the world, the turbo, manifold, wastegate, all that good stuff. This thing is damn near ready for a first start. Still aiming to get it done tonight, so let's go ahead and get this assembled real quick and we can see where we're at. We got the absolutely gorgeous Cerakoted manifold and turbo installed. Now we're gonna go ahead, do all the boost control lines, intercooler piping, and we should be able to move on to fluids and knock out a first start. Very, very excited and anxious and nervous for this first start. Very last thing to install before we go ahead for the first start is the exhaust system. This may take a while. It's a pretty complicated exhaust that we got for this car. All right, boys, let's get some oil moving around in this thing. Make sure we don't have any oil leaks. Build some oil pressure. Do all the good things that we got to do to get this thing ready for its very first start. All right, pull the fuel pump fuse. Gonna go ahead and disconnect coils and crank sensor. This guy here is crank. Let's turn it over, see how she sounds. Hopefully it sounds healthy. I'm gonna crank it till we see something on the oil pressure gauge. There we have it, my friends. We have the oil pressure, and I think we're ready. Nothing's leaking besides brake fluid because the front brakes are off the car. I'm gonna fire it first with no radiator and no coolant and all that good stuff. Run it for maybe 30 seconds max just to make sure everything sounds good. And then I'll go ahead and install the radiator and get the car complete and really go ahead, fire it up and get her done. Let's do this.
She's done.
Cool beans. That was easy. Just got the new CSF radiator in with all the hoses, all that's buttoned up. This bay is really coming along, but to make it even better, we have all these parts on the table to go ahead and install. So a freshly powder coated valve cover, this Cusco front brace, the strut tower brace. We are going to do a different color. This one's pretty beat up and it's not gonna look very good in the bay. So we're gonna take care of that. We have this STM trans-mounted catch can, which this thing's actually pretty damn cool and it looks like a very high quality product. I've never used one of those, so I'm excited to see how that works. And then we have an oil cooler to go ahead and install as well. The first thing we're gonna get started off with is the strut tower brace. Let's go ahead and get this thing stripped, sandblasted, and powder coated. So I know we were having issues last time we used this oven and I figured out why. And if you guys can remember back, it was on the Hyperblue STI. On the ink black wheels, we had like this weird film we kept having to wipe off, and that is called blooming. It's when the powder is under cured. So being that it's such a big oven, and a lot of you guys helped me out with this, and Prismatic Powders, who is the manufacturer of the powder, the splatter black powder we just applied, they confirmed it. They said it is under curing, so make sure you're baking it and you start the timer when the part itself reaches 400 degrees. And the reason we have it with the big one and not the small one is because when you open the door on the big one, all the heat comes out, so it takes a little bit longer. Just sprayed out the splatter black on the strut tower bar and the intake tube. The splatter black we just applied is the closest thing I've ever seen to the ETS wrinkle black, which is on this piping here. So if you want to match it, I'll go ahead and link it down in the description box below. Before I take off for the night, I really want to get a couple minutes, I suppose, on this engine. So now that it's all topped off on some coolant, let's fire it up again and make sure everything is good to go. All the vitals are good, oil pressure, AFRs, fuel pressure. Let's make sure everything is dialed in so we don't have any hiccups when we go to hit the dyno. Oh man, it feels good to have an Evo 8 finished up. So here is the splatter black we just applied versus the ETS wrinkle black. Very, very close. It's probably what they use. Strut tower bar is on. As you guys saw earlier, that thing looks damn good. Intake is gonna sit like that. I'll go ahead and throw that on here in a second. We got the catch can mounted, but I cannot run the lines. We're missing 2 fittings, so I just need to pick up 2 AN fittings in the morning, and then we can get the lines for the catch can built. I was hoping to get the oil cooler on today, but we are out of time because it's Valentine's Day and I'm gonna go hang out with Bobby. So that's a wrap. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of the bay. I think it turned out super, super nice. The only thing I would change up is I would probably spray the intake manifold wrinkle black or put an aftermarket manifold on her. Just, it might need it anyway to make all the sauce, but it would look better with a different manifold or wrinkle black manifold. And then the tile BOV, if that thing was black, I feel like that would flow much better just because, as you can see, it's a way different color than the rest of the stuff. But the bronze Cerakote with the purple powder, one of the best combos yet. I freaking love it. And there she is with the black intake installed. Sheesh. This makes me miss the Hyper Blue 8. Such a nice setup. ETS kit 6466 on a 2.4. This thing is gonna be freaking spicy as long as the little 6-speed can keep up with the motor. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. We met our goal of first start, which I'm very, very excited for. Hopefully tomorrow we can go on the first drive. We have a bunch of random little things to button up on the car, and then hopefully get her back on the ground and go on the first drive. So I will see you boys then.